So I'm still working on my binding. I didn't get it done last night or anytime soon because my hand was hurting. So sorry about that picture. I'm going to quilt here some more and show you a little more how I put the binding on. And you know, I know some of you have asked questions about different things, and so I just wanted to say if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask them. I'll get back to you. So I'm just taking small stitches here and just going in at the very edge of the binding. And eventually I will get it done. And so will you. So try not to go up too far. It makes a bigger stitch here, and then it is more visible, but if you use the same colored thread as your fabric, you don't really notice it. So just go right in underneath the very edge of the binding and pull it out at the top, at the edge of the binding. And make sure you're covering the stitch line from this side, because you have a stitch line right here. And every time I take a needle out from this end, I go over here and I put it on this end. So I only have a few needles that I'm working with. 3 to be exact. Sometimes I use 5 or 6, but 3, you know, that's good. Seems to be my number. I did have a few more in when I started, but I ended up taking them out, and now I'm still on 3. So use as many as you like. You can pin the whole thing, the whole way around it if you like to start with. I just find that I jab myself as the rest of the quilt sits on my lap, you know. So try not to jab myself, and so I've been only using a few pins when I put my binding on. Make sure you give your thread a little bit of a tug when you're sewing, because sometimes it can get knotted or be a little bit loose. Just, you know, give it a little tug. Don't tug too hard or you might break it, but just make sure the threads are laying down evenly. Now when I come to the little seam, the diagonal seam here, sometimes I put a little extra stitch in there too, because it seems sometimes it'll be pulling, so I just, you know, put one little extra stitch in there. Seems to go pretty fast when you just keep on working at it, but sometimes it feels like it's a slower process than it should be. I guess when I'm videotaping it seems a little slower also, because I don't work quite as fast talking and sewing at the same time, but it gets done. Just trying to you know, make a few videos so that you guys understand how I do, you know, everything. And if you want to do it the same way, sure, that's why I'm making the videos. If you don't, if you have another way you like better, that's fine too. I'm just trying to help you out and any way I can. That's why I made the videos, because some people were asking about it. So I thought, instead of having everybody try to arrange your schedules to fit mine to have a class, I just figured an online video might suit everybody, and they can watch it at their own pace, each person, and go back and watch it, you know, if they didn't remember or get what I was saying the first time. So it's a little bit better than a in-person class, because you can re-watch it and go over it as much as you need to. So, and if you forget something, if you do one quilt and you go back and start another quilt when you're first starting and you forgot how to do something, you can always go back and re-watch the videos. So videos are handy that way. Just glad that you guys are liking them and they're helpful to you. Okay, I'm coming to another corner. I don't think, well, I might have enough thread to get around it. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I tie it off if it's going to be a little short and start a new piece of thread. But my thumb hurts here, and the tape helps to pull the skin away from the muscle and tendon so that it gives it some relief and can help it to heal. So I do my tape once in a while. And I do hand exercises and stretches, just, you know, working with your hands and doing a lot of quilting, and it has irritated my muscles and tendons in my hand. I do have a pair of these copper gloves, and they do help to take the pain away when I have pain. I do have some arthritis in there, but just so you know, the copper gloves do help some. They do. I don't know what they do, but they're very good at helping to take away the pain. And sometimes I do have to use, like, I think it's called Voltaren. It's a arthritis cream that I put on first, then I put my little glove on. But sometimes I don't even use that. I just put the glove on and it helps. But when I'm washing my hands a lot through the day and I'm wearing this, it's good because it'll still stay on. Whereas when I'm wearing this, it's hard to do stuff because it gets dirty, and then you're washing your hands and it feels kind of gross. So that's why I use the tape some through the day. Sometimes I wear the gloves at night though when I'm sleeping, because it helps, because I've had pain through the night. So I am going to stop here and tie off my thread because it's getting a little short. What I'm going to do is I go in behind it to the fabric underneath, and I pull it through. Make sure there's no knot, and then I'll cut that off, and I just take the thread. It's 2 pieces here, and I just give it a couple knots. And then I cut it off. Just make sure you don't cut your binding while you're doing it, but that's what I do. And then I will start sewing from here. after I get a new piece of thread here. Knot my thread at the end because it's a double piece. Okay, now I'm going to start my thread in here again. I go past where I stopped right here. I'm gonna put my needle in here and go up next to my stitch, pull it through, and then put a stitch in there and start again. So I am going to continue on sewing around the corner. I'm at 11 minutes. I'm going to stop there and I'm going to tell you, keep quilting, have fun doing it, and have a good day. Bye.